The first time I saw my name on a loan application I never signed. My fiancé was standing behind me, asking why I was snooping. I had only opened the printer queue because our old machine was choking on a grocery coupon. Paper stuck halfway out, red light blinking. My cold coffee sat beside the electric bill, and our wedding budget folder was open on the desk like something innocent. Then the screen refreshed. Applicant Grant Miller. Co-applicant Lena Brooks. My full name, my birthday, my social security number, except for the last 4 digits hidden in neat little XS. I turned slowly. Grant was in the doorway. Jaw-tight. Why is my name on this? He didn't look at the screen. He looked at my hand on the mouse. Why are you digging through my private files? Before that afternoon, I would have told anyone Grant was careful, not cruel. We had been together for years. Long enough to know how he took his coffee, how he folded bath towels wrong every time, how he hummed old commercial jingles when he fixed the sink. Our life was small and ordinary. Grocery runs after work, rent due on the 1st, the neighbor's little brown dog barking every night at 8:15. Like it had an appointment with the moon. We were planning a small wedding because both of us said we hated waste. 42 guests. Lemon cake instead of 3 tiers. No ice sculpture. No string quartet. No chair covers that cost more than inner. On Sundays, I sat on the carpet with my laptop open, moving names around our guest list while Grant stretched beside me and complained that my cousin had +1 energy. He made me laugh. That was what made the memory hurt later. At the bakery tasting, he wiped frosting off my thumb with a napkin and said, "This one tastes like summer." I remember thinking, this is what steady feels like. Not fireworks, not movie speeches. Just a man who remembered I hated fondant and always parked under shade because my car ran hot. So when he started changing, I gave him every excuse love could invent. It began after he joined a new project team at work. He started coming home with phrases that did not sound like him. Protecting assets. Men need to be smart before marriage. A good woman should understand risk. He said guys at the office talked openly about money. Prenup, liability. Adult things couples were supposed to discuss before vows made everything messy. I tried to listen like a future wife, not like someone looking for a fight. We don't have assets, I said once, half laughing. We have a used couch and a blender that smells like onions. Grant did not laugh. That's not the point. Lena, that was new too. The flat tone. The way my name sounded less like affection and more like warning. Still, I told myself he was stressed. Wedding deposits were adding up. Our landlord had hinted rent might go up in August. His car needed brakes. My mother kept texting pictures of centerpiece I did not ask for. Stress can make people strange. I believed that because I needed to. At night, we still brushed our teeth side by side. He still kissed my shoulder when he passed me in the kitchen. But sometimes his eyes drifted to my purse, my laptop, my phone lighting up on the counter. And when the neighbor's dog barked, Grant would glance toward the window like something was coming. The first strange rule came on a Tuesday, over pasta and either of us ate. I had made the cheap kind with jar sauce and too much garlic because Grant promised he would be home early. The plates were still steaming when he sat across from me and put his phone face down beside his fork. Not silenced, face down. That was what I noticed first. We should talk about accountability, he said. I whirled noodles around my fork. Did I miss a meeting? He did not smile. He opened a blue folder I had never seen before. A white label on the front said relationship agreement in his blocky handwriting. My fork tapped the plate. It's not legal, he said fast. It's more like expectations. Before marriage. The first page had bullet points, shared locations at all times, monthly spending review, password list in a sealed envelope, Google Calendar access, notice before meeting friends. No large purchases without discussion. I stared at the paper, waiting for the joke. Grant, what? This sounds like employee onboarding. It sounds like transparency. My phone buzzed on the counter. My sister had sent a photo of her toddler wearing a spaghetti strainer as a hat. I did not pick it up. Grant's eyes moved toward it anyway. He leaned back and rubbed his face, as if I had tired him out by breathing wrong. Guys at work talk about this stuff. He said, you wouldn't believe what happens after marriage. Men get taken for everything because they trusted the wrong woman. My stomach tightened. Do you think I'm the wrong woman? I didn't say that. You handed me a packet. His voice softened in that careful way that used to make me feel safe. Lena, I'm trying to build something with you. If we have nothing to hide. This shouldn't scare you. That sentence stayed in the room longer than either of us did. I wanted to be angry. I was angry. But love can turn sirens into chores. I told myself he was anxious. I told myself weddings made people strange about money, control, and disasters that had not happened. So I compromised. I added him to my Google Calendar. I turned on location, sharing for safety. I showed him how I tracked groceries and gas in my banking app. I refused to give him my passwords. His mouth went flat, but he let it go, for then. The pasta cooled into one sticky lump between us. Later, while I washed dishes, he came up behind me and kissed the back of my head. Thank you for understanding, he said. In the dark kitchen window, I saw his arms around me and his eyes open, watching my phone on the counter. The next morning, I woke to a text from Grant, sent from bathroom 20 feet away. Who is Nora and why are you meeting her after work? Steam crawled under door. Shower ran. I stared at screen, still half asleep, trying to make his question make sense. Nora was my college roommate. She had mailed me a bridesmaid robe 2 weeks earlier with card that made me cry in grocery store parking lot. I typed, you know Nora. 3 dots appeared, vanished, appeared again, answer question. Something in my chest went still. When he came out, hair wet, towel around his waist, he kissed my forehead like nothing had happened. You're being intense, I said. He reached for deodorant. No, I'm being consistent. Consistent means I get to ask things too. His hand stopped half-second. Ask. I held up my phone. What's your passcode? Grant laughed once, cold and short. That's different. Why? Because I'm not one acting weird. From kitchen, dishwasher groaned through rinse cycle. That dull wet roar filling apartment. Every few seconds. Loose spoon clinked hard against rack, like teeth tapping. At breakfast, his phone stayed face down beside his plate. When it buzzed, his palm covered it before screen fully lit. I saw one thing, 6-digit code, then black. What was that? I asked. What was what? Code. He chewed slowly. Work. Work sends OTP codes before 7. His eyes lifted. Listen to yourself. Not answer. Mirror turned against me. I went to work feeling stupid. Not because I believed him, but because some trained part of me still wanted to. Through staff meeting about inventory numbers, all I could picture was his thumb sliding over screen. Hide. Lock. Delete. New rhythm of our home. At lunch, I opened location app. His blue dot was not at office. It's at 3 blocks away, near payday loan shops, check cashing place, and shipping store with bars on windows. My stomach dropped so fast I set my sandwich down. Maybe coffee. Maybe errand. Maybe some ordinary reason I could crawl inside and sleep in. At 12:18 p.m. His dot moved back toward office. At 12:21 p.m. He texted, busy day, love you. I hated that those words still hurt. That evening, I said nothing. I wanted to see what he chose when no one pushed him. He came home with takeout noodles and bright mood that felt painted on. He kissed my cheek, asked about my day, said he had been in back-to-back meetings. Couldn't even breathe, he said, hanging his dark gray hoodie over chair. On cuff, tiny white sticker clung to fabric. COPYCNT or -CUSTOMER 47. My mouth went dry. Did you leave work today? I asked. He was opening soy sauce. Packet split and drawn over his finger. What? At lunch. Tear slipped off his face. Flatness came back. Why are you tracking me? You asked me to share location. For safety. So where were you? He wiped soy sauce with napkin. Slow and careful. You're acting guilty. Lena. I laughed. Sharp and ugly. I asked where you were. And am asking why you're looking for something. Dishwasher beeped behind us. Finished and steaming. Neither of us opened it. You have my calendar, I said. My location. My spending categories. You question me if I'm 10 minutes late. That's because you agree. No. I agreed to trust. Not to be watched while you disappear and lie. His jaw flexed. For 1 second. I thought he might tell me truth. Another woman. Debt. Fear. Something ugly but real. Instead, he grabbed his phone and walked to balcony. Sliding door shut. Through glass. I watched him pull hood up and turn his back. His voice stayed low, but his hand cut hard through cold air. I stood in kitchen with 2 untouched boxes of noodles getting soft on counter. Listening to dishwasher click as it cooled. For first time, I did not feel like his future wife. I felt like someone he was preparing case against. I did not become the kind of woman who broke into phones. That was first thing I told myself, standing barefoot in our kitchen at 12:43 p.m. While Grant slept down hall with his phone tucked under his pillow like passport. I did not know his passcode. I did not try guessing. I did not touch his laptop, because lately he carried it even when he went to brush his teeth. But there were things in our apartment that belonged to both of us. Wedding inbox. Printer history. Mail stacked by microwave until Pauline. If he could watch my calendar because it was ours, I could look at paper sitting in our home. Printer blinked orange from jam he had ignored. I opened tray and tugged free half-crumpled page caught between rollers. Toner dust smeared under my nail. It was not contract. Not exactly. It was confirmation page from lending site. Printed crooked, with Grant's name at top and mine beneath it. Applicant. Co-borrower. My throat tightened so fast I sat down. Page used clean, harmless words. Pre-approval. Soft inquiry. Debt consolidation options. Estimated monthly payment. Household income. Household. I read that word 3 times, hoping it would turn into mistake. From bedroom. Bed springs clicked. I froze with paper in my lap, one hand over my mouth, listening until his breathing settled again. Apartment felt strong and dark. Same blinds. Same dished on of handle. Same bowl of keys by door. But every ordinary thing looked staged by someone pretending to live with me. I folded page once and slid it under unpaid electric bill. Then I opened shared wedding email. Not his personal email. Nothing locked. Account we made together because he said vendors were easier if we both stayed organized. Search bar waited. White and empty. I typed pre-approval. 3 messages came up. 2 ads. One from lender I had never heard of, thanking Grant for continuing his application and reminding him adding co-borrower could improve terms. I did not click. I stared at preview line until my eyes burned. Required consent pending. My consent. Chair scraped when I backed away. Then I saw rash under desk. It was ridiculous. How guilty I felt pulling out our own garbage. Coffee filter. Grocery receipt. Orange peel curled dry and sharp. Under it, torn envelopes. I spread pieces on floor by desk lamp and matched edges. One envelope had my name misspelled by 1 letter, but address right. Another had Grant's name and return address from credit union to towns over. Third was ripped through middle. But enough remained. Debt consolidation. Final notice. Offer expires. My pulse was so loud I felt it in my teeth. I had thought maybe there was another woman. Secret lunch. Perfume on hoodie. Cheap. Ordinary betrayal people knew how to name. But this was quieter. Colder. This was my name being led into rooms I had never entered. I washed toner from my fingers. It clung under handful of my nail. Stubborn and ugly. Water sounded too loud, so I shut it off. In silence, I laid every scrap on counter and took pictures. First ones blurred because my hands shook. I retook them until words were sharp. Pre-approval. Co-borrower. Debt consolidation. Pending consent. Then I put everything back almost where I found it. Almost. Printer light kept blinking orange, steady and patient, like it had been warning me all along. Grant was sleeping in our bed, and for first time since we moved in together, I felt like guest in my own home, afraid to make noise because owner might wake up. By morning, I had built one ugly explanation and hated how badly I wanted it to be true. Debt was frightening, but debt could be confessed. An affair had a shape I understood. So when I found the restaurant receipt in Grant's navy suit jacket, part of me almost felt relieved. Almost. He had left the jacket over the couch again, sleeves inside out, shoulders smelling faintly of rain and something sweet I did not own. Not perfume exactly. More like hotel's opened expensive hand lotion. The receipt was crumpled deep in the inside pocket. 2 entrees. 1 bottle of wine. Dessert. Tuesday night. The same Tuesday he said his department ordered cold sandwiches and worked until 9. I stood in our bedroom, between the laundry basket and his pressed shirts, staring at the total like numbers could blink and become innocent. Then another slip fell out. Airport hotel parking. For hours. My knees went soft. I sat on the bed beside the drawer where my wedding band waited in its little gray box. I had chosen it because it was thin, plain, practical. Grant said it looked like me. I hated him for knowing me that well. My phone buzzed, except it was not my phone. Grant's sold tablet lit up on the nightstand. He used it for recipes, and it still mirrored messages when he forgot to turn that off. A name appeared. Marcy. The preview stayed long enough for my body to go cold. She can't know until paper's clear. If she panics now, DL'd eyes. Another message came in. Tell her whatever keeps her calm. Dinner helped. Next meet same place. Dinner helped. Same place. I pressed my fist to my mouth until I tasted blood. There she was. Not paranoia. Not stress. A woman with a name. Making plans with my fiancé in restaurants and airport hotels, while I sat at home comparing napkin colors for a wedding I suddenly could not picture without feeling stupid. Marcy, I whispered, like testing a curse. The neighbor's dog barked through wall. Coffee machine clicked off in kitchen. Somewhere below us, a car alarm chirped twice. Our apartment continued being ordinary. Nothing shattered except me. I took pictures of everything. Receipt, parking slip, message screen before it faded. My hands were steady, which scared me more than shaking would have. Then I heard his key in front door. Grant was early. I shoved the receipt back to fast. Wrong corner sticking out. The tablet went black in my lap. Lena? He called. His voice was warm, casual, almost cheerful. In bedroom, I said. He appeared carrying 2 coffees and a paper bag from the bakery near his office. His tie was loose. His eyes moved from my face to the tablet, then to the open drawer. For half a second, fear crossed him. Then he smiled. Thought it'd surprise you. I looked at the coffee and wondered if Marcy drank hers black or sweet. You okay? He asked. There were too many questions in my throat. Who is she? How long? Did you take off your ring when you met her? But what came out was smaller. You said you worked late Tuesday. His smile tightened. I did. I nodded. Because if I spoke again, I would cry. And I refused to give him that before I knew how much of me he had already given away. Grant set coffees on the dresser like we were about to talk about seating charts. The bakery bag whispered when he let go. Butter and cinnamon filled the bedroom, sweet and strong. My stomach turned. You worked late, I said. He looked at the receipt in my hand, then at the tablet on my lap. The room seemed to shrink. What were you doing in my things? There it was. Not fear for me. Not confusion. Blame. Your things? I held up the receipt. This was in your suit pocket. I picked up the suit so it wouldn't wrinkle before engagement photos. His face hardened. You don't get to act betrayed after digging through my clothes. There's a hotel charge near the airport. Dinner for 2. A message from Marcy saying I can't know until paper's clear. His eyes flashed at her name. For 1 second, I thought he might confess something awful but human. Loneliness. Weakness. Panic about money. Something I could hate and still understand. Instead, he stepped closer. You have no idea what you're talking about. Then, I don't have to explain every business conversation. Business? My voice cracked. Grant, my name is on loan paperwork I never signed. His mouth tightened. That tiny silence told me more than any confession. Did you put me on an application? No one put you on anything. Don't do that. I'm trying to build a life. And you're acting like some detective because you read half a document and made yourself the victim. Victim landed like a slap. I looked at the bakery bag. 2 almond croissants. My favorite. He had bought them on the same morning. I learned he might be using my identity. How long? I asked. He rubbed both hands over his face. This is exactly why I didn't tell you yet. My knees went weak. Yet, he went to the closet, pulled out his laptop bag, and unzipped it. A neat folder came out, clipped in black metal. He laid it on our comforter between us. Since you're determined to panic, he said, we can handle it now. Prenup addendum. Authorization for credit review. Consent to joint financial evaluation. My name appeared again and again, spelled correctly, clean as if it belonged there. No, I whispered. It's standard, he said. Marcy said it protects both of us. Marcy from the hotel. His eyes narrowed. Don't make this cheap. Something inside me went still. He was ashamed. He was offended I had named shape of it. You met a woman at a hotel to talk about my credit. Her office was being renovated. And you hid it. Because look at you. He threw one hand toward me. You spiral. You make me the villain. You made me co-borrower. I tried to include you, without asking me. Because you should trust me. Outside, a car door slammed. Pipes knocked in the wall. Our ordinary apartment kept breathing while my future came apart on our bed. Grant picked up a blue plastic pen from his bag. It had our wedding venue's name printed on it. I remembered him taking it after we paid the deposit. Laughing, first stolen thing of our marriage. Now he held it out like a test. Sign credit consent tonight, he said. We can discuss addendum after you calm down. I stared at pen. And if I don't? His face softened, but not kindly. Then maybe you're not ready to be my wife. My chest hurt so badly I pressed my hand there. Marriage means trust, he said. Not humiliating me every time adult paperwork gets complicated. Adult paperwork doesn't hide in printer trays. You were snooping. You were lying. His nostrils flared. I'm trying to save us from starting broke and exposed. Exposed to what? He looked away. A crack. Tiny. Gone fast. Life, he said. Risk. Debt. Emergencies. Things you don't understand because you think love pays bills. I thought of extra shifts. Skipped flowers. Folding chairs. Every time I said I wanted marriage more than a perfect wedding. You know I never needed a big wedding. He laughed under his breath. Don't rewrite history. That almost broke me. Not papers. Not Marcy. That. Calm way he rearranged my own heart. I picked up folder. His hand shot out. Careful. I looked at his fingers gripping pages. Are these originals? They're drafts. Then you won't mind if I read them alone. No, we read them together. Why? Because you're emotional. I pulled. Paper or underclip. We both froze. His voice dropped. Lena, don't make this ugly. I looked at him then. Loose tie. Coffee's cover. Pen in hand. Fear hiding under anger. It already is, I said. I did not call Marcy first. That was only smart thing I did that night. Grant followed me into the kitchen, saying my name like it was a leash. I set the torn folder on the counter, walked past him, and locked myself in the bathroom. Lena, he said through the door. Open it. I sat on the closed toilet seat with my phone in both hands. The room smelled like lavender soap and damp towels. Ordinary things. Safe things. My thumb shook when I dialed the number printed on the loan letter. Hold music played for 27 minutes. Grant knocked twice. Then stopped. Then I heard drawers opening in the bedroom. That scared me more than yelling. When a woman answered, I gave my name and the last 4 digits of my social security number because they already had them. I need to know if there is an active loan application under my name. I said. I did not authorize one. Typing, then silence. None. Are you currently with Mr. Grant Ellison? My skin went cold. No. Are you in a safe place to talk? I looked at the flimsy lock. No, I whispered. But talk anyway. She could not tell me everything. Privacy rules. Verification rules. Polite words standing between me and my own name. But she told me enough. An application had been started. My information was listed as co-borrower. Income. Employer. Rental address. Previous address. Driver's license number. I had never given Grant permission. Where did he get my license number? I asked, but I already knew. Our lease folder. Copies in the drawer under the candles. Beside birthday cards and spare stamps. The place I trusted because I thought home meant nobody used your paperwork against you. There are notes attached, she said. Missing consent confirmation. Signature pending. Pending. Outside, on my laptop, a sticky note glowed under kitchen light. I had written it that morning. Call caterer. Pick up dry cleaning. Love you, G. My own handwriting looked foolish. After I hung up, I called my sister. Dana answered on second ring. What's wrong? I need accounting brain, I said. Not sister brain. She went quiet. I read the words through the bathroom door. Debt consolidation. Personal guarantee. Co-borrower. Hard inquiry. Secured line. She did not interrupt. Then she said, Lena, listen. This is not wedding stress. I know. No, you don't. If he adds you, creditors can come after you too. Your wages. Your credit. Your future apartment. Everything. My throat closed. For what? Read me exact names. I did. Dana inhaled sharply. That lender is high risk. Fast money. Bad terms. Grant's footsteps stopped outside the bathroom. Lena, he said softly. Come out. You're making this worse. Dana heard him. Do not open that door, she said. I sent her screenshots from between my knees. Receipt. Parking slip. Marcia's message. Loan pages. Torn corner. Grant's email address visible at top. 3 minutes later, she called back. Her voice had changed. Marcy Vale is not an affair, Dana said. Just a loan broker. Complaint history. Aggressive filings. Gray area co-borrower approvals. I stared at grout between tiles. No perfume. No hotel romance. No other woman stealing my fiancé. Something worse. Someone helping him turn me into paperwork. Dana kept going. Grant's name is in county civil records. Collections tied to investment loans, and those statements show betting processors and crypto margin platforms. He has been losing money, Lena. I leaned my head against the wall. All month, I had pictured lipstick, hotel sheets, whispered apologies. But betrayal had been quieter. It sat at our kitchen table and asked for passwords. It called control transparency. It called signatures trust. It smiled over coffee while trying to hand my life to debt collectors. Who are you talking to? Grant asked, for first time all night. I did not feel confused. I felt awake. Dana, I said loudly. Silence. Then his shadow moved away from the door. My sister said, Good. Let him know someone knows. Grant's voice thinned. You called your sister. I stood. My legs tingled. In the mirror, my face looked pale but clear, like shock had rinsed something dirty off me. Yes, I said. And the credit company. Next is police non-emergency if you touch one page. Fridge hummed in the kitchen. Neighbor's dog barked once. Then quit. The apartment stayed ordinary around the truth. But everything had changed. I unlocked the door with my phone recording in my hand. Grant stood 3 steps back, folder under his arm. His eyes went to the phone. Mine went to the folder. Put it down, I said. Now. He put the folder down. Not because he respected me. Because my phone was recording. And Dana was listening. I slept on my sister's couch that night under an old quilt her kids had stained with juice years ago, at 6 in the morning, while her house squeaked softly around me. I froze my credit with all 3 bureaus. Click. Password. Security question. Confirmation number. My hands felt like they belonged to someone older. Dana sat beside me with cold coffee. Save everything, she said. So I did. Emails, loan letters, photos of the torn folder, texts where Grant asked for my social security card for marriage license stuff, screenshots of typed signature lines waiting for me like my future had already agreed. By noon, I had called my bank, my credit card company, and the wedding venue. The woman at the venue sounded sorry. Your deposit is non-refundable. I know. Do you want to reschedule? I looked at my bare finger. I had dropped the ring into Dana's cereal bowl because I couldn't stand metal touching my skin. No, I said. Cancel it. Then came the florist email, the DJ, the bakery. Each cancellation felt like pulling pins from a map I had drawn with him. Tiny holes everywhere. No explosion. Just paper sagging. Grant begged to meet at the crowded coffee shop near Dana's, the one with plants in the windows and a bell over the door. I chose it for witnesses. He came in unshaven, red-eyed, wearing the same navy jacket from our cake tasting. For 1 second, my heart remembered him, his hand on my back, his laugh in the grocery aisle, his proposal by the lake while mosquitoes bit our ankles. Then he sat down and whispered, "Can we stop punishing each other?" Water slid down my iced tea onto the napkin. "This isn't punishment," I said. "This is protection." His face broke. "Lena, we have years. You're throwing away years. You tried to put debt in my name. I was desperate. That doesn't make it love." He leaned closer, voice soft and familiar. "You wanted a decent wedding. Stability. I was trying to catch up." I worker wiped the next table and pretended not to hear. "I wanted folding chairs in Diana's backyard." I said. "You wanted my signature without asking." He cried into his hands. Old me would have reached for him. New me kept my hands in my lap. "I'm not signing anything. I'm not marrying you. If investigators call, answer them. Don't come to Dana's. Don't come to my job." He looked up, anger under tears. "So that's it?" The door chime rang. Someone laughed near the counter. "That's it," I said. For the first time, ending sounded like a lock clicking open. 3 weeks later, I woke on a mattress on floor of studio apartment that smelled like fresh paint and basil. Basil sat on windowsill in chipped mud Dana gave me. Last night's pizza box leaned beside trash. New lock clicked hard when I turned it. Like it wanted me to remember this door answered only to me. Mail waited under door. 1 envelope from credit bureau. 1 from fraud department. 1 from wedding dress shop. Reminding me I had missed final fitting. I sat cross-legged and opened first 2. Investigation in progress. Freeze confirmed. Account disputed. Plain words on thin paper. Not justice, not victory, but enough to make my shoulders loosen. I pressed my thumb over my printed name and breathed. Dress still hung in closet, sealed in its cloth bag. I was going to donate it. Not today. Maybe Saturday. Some mornings it looked like failure. Other mornings it looked like proof I got out before lock turned. I made coffee in saucepan because I had not bought maker yet. Rain slid down window. Buses hissed below. My phone stayed silent on counter. I did not feel triumphant. I felt quiet. That was new. For years, I thought love meant being chosen. Then I learned someone can choose you and still treat your life like collateral. Now my name was mine again. My signature waited for me. And nobody stood behind me, asking for it.